Hi guys, this is Melodora. I wanted to share with you this new stitch that I was working on, and I'm calling it the Flower Spiral Motif Pattern. Because as you can see, it starts off as a flower, but then you just keep going around and you just make it as big as you like. And some ideas of some of the things that you can use this stitch for. You can use it as a doily, a shawl, a baby blanket, a pillow. You can have coasters, anything that you can think of. And it's really easy to do, but the most difficult thing about it is after a while of doing it, there's no really exact pattern where you need to attach the petal, the next petal, because it all depends on how thick the needle you are using, how thick the yarn, and how tight or how loose you crochet. So I recommend this only for those that are more advanced. I don't recommend this for beginners because there really is no exact pattern. And you can use any size hook and any size yarn. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a 5mm hook, which is a size H hook, and just regular worsted weight yarn. UK, it's 10 ply, and the US, it's 4 ply. But like I said, you can use anything that you like. So go ahead and grab your yarn and your hook you want to use, and let's get started. Start off, you want to chain 5, and then you want to slip stitch into your beginning chain to form a ring. And then chain 1, and then you're going to want a butterfly stitch into the center ring here. And if you don't know how to do the butterfly stitch, I'll show you. What you do is you go into the ring, draw up a loop, pull through one of the loops, and then you go into the center again, draw up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, you pull through 2, and then you pull through 2, and then chain 1. The chain 1 is an important part of the stitch. Again, go through, draw up a loop, pull through only one of the loops, then you go back into the loop, pull up the loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then chain 1. And I've got 2 now made, and I need a total of 8 in this ring. So you have a big stitch here that you're going to want to slip stitch into. Now you want to chain 5. 3, 4, 5. Now you want to turn your work around where the back is facing you, and in the stitch right next to it, your first butterfly stitch is here, right here. It's a long one, so you want to go into this next stitch and slip stitch and chain 2. Now you want to turn your work back over, and now we're going to be working into this chain space you just made. You want to put 6 butterfly stitches inside this space. There's my first. So just continue to work 5 more butterfly stitches in the chain 5 space. Okay, when you get done with the 6 butterfly stitches, you just want to slip stitch in the next stitch going this way. Here's your butterfly stitch, so this is going to be the next stitch. So slip stitch into that one, and again you want to chain 5. Then you want to turn your work, and again in the next stitch to the left, you want to slip stitch, chain 2, turn your work back over to face you, the right side, and work 6 butterfly stitches in this new chain 5 space. And again, slip stitch into the next stitch, This is where we made our connection before, so the next stitch is here. Slip stitch into that one. Again, you want to chain 5. Turn your work, and slip stitch into the next stitch going this direction. Chain 2. Turn your work to face you the right side again. And again, put 6 butterfly stitches in this new chain 5 space. And we're just going to continue to do this, working around the whole center of the flower. When you get back up here, I will meet you back here. Just got done. I'm going to slip stitch. You can see here's my first butterfly stitch on this petal. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch on the other side of it here. And again, I'm going to chain 5. And then go in, same as before, chain 2. We're just going to keep working our way around, except now we're going to start having 2 connections on each petal as we start our next round. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 6 butterfly stitches in this one, and then I'll show you how to start connecting round 2. Okay, from here on out, it's definitely where your experience needs to kick in, because depending on how tight or loose that you crochet or the size of the yarn, it could be different. So for me, if I lay my stitch here, it's flat against. So I don't want to like attach it here, because then it's going to pull. See? I want to get the most flattest connection that I can so that my project remains flat. So I'm just going to go in. This is my first butterfly stitch here. It's still flat for me if I use this stitch just to the left of the first. So that's the one I'm going to use. Then I'm going to chain 5. To make the petal is always going to be the same. You chain 5, you turn, and considering you're going to be making the second row, instead of going into the first petal, the first stitch on the petal, I would go in through the second. So skip the first 2 butterfly stitches and attach it behind the second. Chain 2, turn, then start your 6 butterfly stitches in this chain 5 space you just made, just like before. I finished my petal. Now again, I'm going to be putting it up flat. See where it's, going to be pulled. And it looks like I need to skip 1, 2, and attach my yarn here. That way it's not going to pull here. So again, once I get my connection, I want to chain 5. Turn my project over, and again I'm going to be skipping 2 butterfly stitches. There's my first, this is my second, slip stitch. After the second, chain 2, and then I'm going to work my 6 butterfly stitches in my chain 5 space. Okay, now laying my project flat, I can see that it's best if I attach it here, so that I have the least amount of pulling on my project. So that's where I'm going to attach it. Do the same for yours. Lay your project flat, find the best place to connect it, and then chain 5. Turn your work over. I'm going to be skipping 2 again. If you're getting too flat of a chain here, it's not, coming up any, then you should probably do it in the first. Chain 2. That's why it's really important that you're advanced to do this, because you really need to know the pulling and where you need to do the attachments. The petal itself is so easy, you just have the chain 5 and you do your 6 butterfly stitches your 6 butterfly stitches in the chain 5 space. And the main part that makes this project difficult is knowing how to make sure it stays flat so that you don't have a warped project. Again, do your 6 butterfly stitches in the chain 5 space. Okay, I got done with my petal. I'm laying my project flat. I can see that it's not going to stretch if I attach it here, so I'm going to attach it right there. Not pulling, happy about that. Then I just start over again on my petal by chaining 5. Flip my project over, the same. You want it to have some loop in it, but not a lot. You don't want a little loop and you don't want a flat loop. You want to try to get it just slightly, if you can, the slight loop in it. Once you find a good spot, chain 2 and then make your petal. Again, I just got done laying my project flat. See, it's probably going to be best if I attach it here. Oops. Going through the front. Everything's flat. I'm happy. Chain 5. Turn your project over. Think working in the second butterfly stitch hole is the best. Then chain 2. Turn your work over. And just continue to do this over and over and over again. I'm about to get to the end of my row, so I'm going to do this until I get to the end of my row. Then I'll show you when I get to the flower petals to here and I'm ready to start the next spiral. I'll meet you back here. I'm up to the end of my second round. This is a first round. And again, just find where you can connect it where it's not going to be pulling. Which is going to be here, I guess, for me. Then I'm going to be chaining 5 again, turn my work. And again, the same thing. You want to find a place to attach it where you have some loop, that it's not pulled too tight and it's not too loose. Chain 2 and turn. And keep working your 6 butterfly stitches in this chain 5 space. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, I'm laying my project flat. You can see that your stitches are going to be laying right up against your project. Find a place to attach it where it won't pull. And my petals are slightly kind of having an overlapping look. And again, once I find my connection, be chaining 5 again, flipping my work over. Same thing, finding a place. Still, it seems to be the second butterfly on this side. Chain 2, turn, then do your 6 butterfly stitches. And that is it. That is basically all you do to get this thing going. And keep using this knowledge to continue to, after you get your butterfly stitches, to lay it flat, find your connection, chain 5, find the next connection. The hardest part is just finding your connections so that your project stays flat, which kind of takes experience because there's no, direct stitch that you put it in. So that's what you keep doing, and you can make it as big as you want. You could stop here, or if you want to use like a smaller needle, smaller yarn, you can get it to here, make it much smaller because of the yarn and the needle size, and just use this part as a coaster. Excuse me. Or you can just keep going and put it on the front of like a pillow and have a nice little motif going. Use variegated yarn. You could make just this inside flower a certain color, and then when you start the second row you can start another color so that the flower in the middle shows more. I mean, it's completely up to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to share and like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.